So today I want to talk about how yoga can help us discern between red light and green light pain, both on and off the mat. So when we are practicing the asana practice of yoga, which is the physical practice of yoga, of the poses, um, we oftentimes get in poses and we are like totally uncomfortable with holding them at any length of time. And, um, usually the inner dialogue is like, get me the fuck out of this pose. And we start looking at the teacher, like, when are you going to get us out of this? And how long is this going to last? And then we, like, start to look for signs of, like, is it almost time for Shavasana, which is the part where you get to lay down on your mat. And so all of this resistance comes up when we're holding a pose in yoga. And this resistance is is usually that discomfort of doing the work. At the end of the day, we are children at heart. We kick and scream when we have to do work. A lot of times, not always. If we can change our relationship to work. Work in yoga is what allows us to grow, to change. Work in this life oftentimes is what allows us to grow, to change, to level up. And so if we can be present with the discomfort and we can be present and check in with the body and make sure that we are safe, that our bodies are safe, and that it is purely just resistance to the discomfort of the work, then we can surrender and just be in the present moment with that work. There's so many times when I'm doing my yoga practice and my leg is shaking, if it's a balance pose or if it's a strength pose, and my legs are shaking or some part of my body is shaking. I tell myself in those moments, like, okay, body, awesome, you are doing the work. I am doing the work. This is doing the work. And then when I get into that present moment of like, I am in this moment of doing the work, then all of a sudden I enjoy it more. And all of a sudden it doesn't feel, it's not as painful. It's like recognizing the pain and seeing the pain and going towards the pain. Oftentimes yoga gets looked at as like, this airy, like everything's good, love all the time, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the case. Yoga is all about acknowledging the light and the dark and moving towards the pain, through the pain, to get to the other side of the growth and the birth. And right now we're in this interesting Saturn retrograde for the next few months, I think 4 months. And with this is an interesting time to look and see, like, okay, where can I engage more? Where can I do the work more? Yoga is about releasing tension and relaxation, but it's equally and oppositely about where can I engage, work smarter, not harder, and where can I show up, and where can I incorporate quality over quantity in my work as well. And so this Saturn, and we always hear about Mercury retrograde, which is over with, thank God, but Saturn retrograde is definitely an invitation to be like, all right, what do you really want? And what does that look like to take the steps to what you really want? And so the next few months are going to be, a very challenging pose, So we have yoga on the mat and then yoga off the mat. Yoga off the mat is much more challenging than yoga on the mat. Because this world is messy. We're all a bunch of humans trying to survive. and we challenge each other, we trigger each other, and we need each other. So you know, it's challenging. So you have the dual energies going on. We need each other, but we get on each other's nerves. Same thing in yoga. There's equal and opposite forces going on within the pose on the mat. So off the mat, during this Saturn retrograde, we have a lot of questions to answer for ourselves. We have a lot of getting real and getting honest with ourselves. And then from there, seeing these old addictions and compulsions at work, really seeing them, really seeing the thought patterns at work, really observing what is really blocking us from doing that thing that we really want to do, right? That work that we really want to do, that project that we really want to do, or live that life that we really want. I always say everything has a price. I think that's like my old school country upbringing. Everything has a price, but it's true. Everything does have a price, and we must invest in ourselves if we expect anyone else to invest in us. And this is a lesson that I am still learning. So by no means am I sitting here like, oh, I got it all figured out. Let me tell you. No, not at all. And then we never get it figured out, right? That's another thing we learn in yoga. We never get it figured out. We never graduate. There's always room to grow. There's always something to learn. Just when we think we have it all figured out, the universe definitely steps in and says, surprise, you don't, look at you. It has its way of humbling us, which is a beautiful thing, because this life is a mystery. And so much is a mystery. And living in that mystery, whilst showing up and doing the work and taking steps to where it is that we want to go. So it's that balance between divine will and what it is that I'm putting forth every day. And then finding everyday dancing between that balance of I'm going to show up and do my work, and thy will be done. I'm going to show up and do my work, and thy will be done. So it's doing the work, and then it's surrendering. It's doing the work and showing up and surrendering, and it's this balance between the two. I hope this helps. I feel like this is a very important message right now with Saturn in retrograde and all of the cosmic energy. It's kind of like, we've been broken down over these cosmic cycles for a few years now, and I feel like all of a sudden it's like, okay, here's why we had to do that to you, here's why you had to go through that. And so I think we're finally seeing like, all right, it's go time. Like now I get to like step out of the aftermath of this storm and figure out how I'm going to use these resources and put all of this together and rebuild what it is that I really want. Because I feel like so much of us have been working towards something these past few years that maybe we kind of want or we don't know, and it's safer than what we really, really want. And so I just invite you all to join me in this practice of yoga, of course on the mat, but off the mat too, and discerning, practicing being present with the self, and then discerning through that where it is that I can use my energy that is in alignment with what is for my highest good. And breathing through the work, breathing through the pain. And also recognizing that there's another type of pain. So there's that green light pain, and there's another type of pain, which is red light pain. You should never feel violated or abused, or, if at some point you're abusing yourself, because the Western culture has taught us that, it should really be a struggle, and it should be so hard, and you should be in so much pain, blood, sweat, and tears, you know. And yes, there may be some blood, sweat, and tears in the green light pain, but just be mindful that you're not using too much force against yourself to get the work done. And back off every now and then, and take a pause every now and then. Stand in Tadasana every now and then. Breathe every now and then. Check in and make sure that the work that you're doing is in alignment with your highest good, and not just more of the same, which is fear, scarcity, lack mentality, victim mentality, competition. There's not enough for everyone. I have to get it. I have to get mine. Check in and see if your work is coming from that place, so that you can reevaluate. Okay, so I think that's it, and thanks for joining me, and namaste.